You're now listening to Sound Talent Media. Check out more shows at soundtalentmedia.com.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you all had a great Father's Day, if that is something you celebrate wherever you're at. I'm recording this on Father's Day evening with a belly full of delicious cured meats and cheeses, because that is the proper American way to celebrate Dad's Day. No, seriously, I hope you all had a good one. And speaking of dads, you're about to hear two dads talk for a long time. Two dads who are old buddies. My good friend, Leonard J. Every time I have Jay on the podcast, we always go into so many rad directions. This one's a little less geary and more about what the heck Jay's been up to. But rest assured, we have some plans to get very geary on some upcoming episodes. I don't want to wait so long to have Jay back on. But he's been very busy, and we get into a lot of what he's been up to. He's been acting, he's been emceeing, he's been doing all kinds of crazy stuff outside of what you see on his YouTube channel. So go check out Leonard J wherever you get your gear content, mostly on the tubes. But I think you're really going to like this particular episode. And go check out his album. It is great. Link for that is down in the show notes. And without further ado, let's get into this with my good friend, Leonard J. Oh, and I should also say, if you enjoy this episode, you should definitely go back and listen to every time he's appeared on this podcast and on Chasing Tone as well, because he is a phenomenal guest every single time. Very knowledgeable and one of my favorite guitarists. So anyway, now without further ado, let's get into this one. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Tone Mob Podcast, a show about guitar stuff, occasionally, sometimes. I'm your host, Blake Weil, and with me, I have my dear friend, one of my favorite guitarists, and internet guitar master and MC at NAMM. And I mean, how many hats are you wearing at this point, Jay?
It's been crazy. I've been doing a lot of stuff, and it's wonderful to be
You're in
here.
plays?
Yeah. I'm in play. Yes.
You're on TV?
I'm on TV. Yeah.
Jeez, man. I think I do a lot of stuff, and I look at you. Man,
it's been crazy. The last 2 years of my life, I turned 40 last year.
No, you did.
And yeah, I did. I know. I age so well, I'll tell you.
You look younger than me. I'm 36.
Oh, come on now. You're making me feel, I'm getting all like,
this is crazy.
You know, I had probably one of the most incredible 2 years of like stuff and like stuff outside of my comfort zone. But yeah, I did a play this year. I've never acted before, except for high school.
Really?
And I found myself as a lead in like this show called Cambodian Rock Band. It's in Vancouver. There's a theater called the Stanley Theater. It's the Arts Club Theater. It's the biggest, one of the biggest theaters in Vancouver for the thing. And it was a Cambodian Rock Band, and I played this guy named Lang, and he's kind of it's crazy. So he's kind of a good guy. He's kind of a bad guy. Like I have to, my first scene, I have to show up like in a bathing suit, And then I get killed on stage. I get choked to death. I have to cry. I have one of those big monologues. I play the band leader of this thing, and it's a drama too. So like I have to sing in Cambodian. I have to learn Cambodian stuff, and then I have to, have these long diatribes and be really mean, and then I have to play this other character who's like really, really like, like a dog. He's like really just like, just kind of going with the flow. Really, two different characters. It was absolutely nuts. And I remember my friend was the music director for the arts club, and she asked me to audition. She said, "Oh, there's a role. It's like a little bit of acting and some guitar." And she was joking. It was like a ton of acting. It was in a little bit of guitar. And then I remember like, okay. And my sister's a really, really accomplished actress. I don't know if you know my sister. Really, her credits are great. So she gave me like this crash course in acting. And I somehow found my way into the audition. I remember when they offered me the role, I couldn't sleep. So I snuck out of bed and I went to a bar with my iPad, and I was reading the script, and I was thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to pull this off? But it was great. And the music was awesome because it was like that. Cambodian rock music was like kind of psychedelic surf. If there's a band called Dengue Fever, they did a lot of Dengue Fever tracks. So it was a really cool book. Fuzz and trombone, spring reverb, Jaguar.
Oh yeah. That is wild, man. So do you think that did that ignite another spark in you? Do you think you're going to want to do more of that?
I didn't, I didn't realize how much of a mental drain it was going to be, like emotional. Cause like, the end of the scene, I'm ordered to kill my best friend. My best friend, I have this long thing, and at this time, my character's been through so much crap, and so I actually I cry on stage every night, 8 shows a week. I'm crying.
You figured out how to cry?
Yeah,
I can cry. I cry over everything.
I could get those water wells going. I get, you know why? Because I'm there, man. I'm there, and I'm like the tears, and I'm like trying to, and then like you have this big. It's like this romantic brothers like holding each other and just holding on for a thing, not romantic in the sexual sense, but like brothers that are like and then he ends up I have to kill him, he kills me, and then like just after that show I am just so mentally done. It was exhausting, but I'll be honest, it was one of the coolest things I've ever done in my life. Incredible. And the cast was great. The girl that was in it was on Broadway. She was in Miss Saigon, and the actors in it, they're very, very well-known actors in the city. They're in a lot of TV shows and movies. So it was a really, really smart crew. And the drummer was one of my best friends. I had to get this guy in from Australia. I brought my best friend in from Australia. He was the drummer. It was a great show. So much fun.
Wow. That's crazy, man. It's a world that I enjoy. I didn't really, let me back up a little bit. I was the guy that was like, I love music, but I don't like musicals. I don't want to, I'm not really into this whole thing. And then my wife forced me to go to Broadway when we were in New York, both times when we were in New York. And I was like, oh, come on, really? This is going to be so not my thing at all. And both times, I think we saw Wicked, and we saw, I forgot what the first one was. Why can't I remember? I know
like
if
one
she
of those
told me
big ones, like
it was another big one, like Snow White or something.
Hamilton or like something like that.
It wasn't Hamilton, wasn't out at the time, or it wasn't around there, or I would have went to that one. But it was another big one, and I loved it. I saw what was happening, and I was like gained this appreciation for. It's like, this is an insane production. This is an insane amount of work that is going into all of this, and these people are all so good. Like, I loved it. Immediately, I was like, oh, I was wrong about this whole thing. I still don't really want to watch it on TV, but live, it's such a, if you have any appreciation for performance at all, it's just such an impressive thing when it's done right.
Oh, it's fantastic. And this show was really interesting because it's not it wasn't like the typical Disney kind of thing, like the music, like really beautiful. Like the music was very gritty and gross, and and it was more on the drama side. So it had a little bit more attitude. The musicians on stage, like all the actors in the play played the band. So we did our own instruments. And they brought in these big subs. They wanted to treat the show like a rock concert. So we had like laser, like it was like the stage was like scaffolding. And yeah, you're right. There's so many little pieces and so much crazy, like, like I have to do a scene and I'm running and I'm like really, and then like I'm like really calm. And then the moment my butt is off the stage, I have to sprint to the other, down the road, around the corner, changing my clothes as I'm doing it. I have a wig. I have like this crazy wig and like trying to make sure the wig does, and it was so funny. I had this wig and it would never stay on. So I'd be like in the middle of a really intense scene, like I'm yelling at this guy and I could just feel the wig slowly rising.
You're like, no.
So you're running down, you're getting the person to repin your thing, and then okay, now I have to walk in the scene, and then you have to walk in the scene and say in that scene you're a completely different person, and you're it's like 20 years or 5 years later, and you're this bad guy, and you're mean, and you're cruel. It's like, it's crazy. Like what happens backstage, what happens on stage to make it all go smooth, and how incredibly choreographed it is in terms of like, there's so many people, like the lighting cues and the set changes and everything has to be like very pinpoint accuracy, and things constantly go wrong. I was actually called the cursed one on the set because there's so many weird technical things happened. And to the point where like there's a story about ghosts in the theater, and everyone's saying the ghosts are playing, because it was really crazy. Like I'd be going on stage and randomly my guitar would be in drop D. Like, and it's a Jaguar. Once you go drop D on a Jaguar, like everything, like everything was fine except for it was like drop D. Or like we'd do a song and there was this one song every night, like the same song, the wirelesses would just stop working. My wireless. And I start the song and it's this really emotional moment. And so I would always have to kind of find different ways to get through it. And the drama of finding, I walked out, I had a gun, and the gun strap broke in the middle of a scene, fell on the ground. And that's not the kind of scene where you'd want the gun to fall on the ground. And I remember same song, I was doing a song, the microphone didn't work because somehow the XLR got unplugged. Like just really, really crazy stuff. There was one part of the stage that goes and covers my section, and it got stuck like midway, like weird. All these, and you just kind of have to find a way. I remember when my mic broke. Okay, well, my mic's off, I have to sing. So you find, go down to center stage, find another singer, and now it's a duet. The song's a duet, and all these little things. And I think that danger that's why it doesn't. I think it doesn't really work well on TV, because that excitement, that spontaneity gets, maybe SNL does something like that, where you kind of have, it feels dangerous.
Yeah.
But also on TV, the camera tells you what to see, right? When you're watching with like director, you're literally looking at what the director wants to see. When you're watching a play, you get to choose what you want to see. So you actually are the director of the show in your own way, right? So
at least a cinematographer in some ways, because
exactly.
You're just like, you might be, for whatever reason, your eye is just drawn to a certain portion of the stage, and so you see everything that particular performer is doing, and maybe you kind of miss something over here, and then the movement happens, and you look over to the left, and you're like, oh wait, that. So yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it. I hadn't really thought about that, but you're really in more control with that kind of performance as a observer than you are on TV or movies. And I love TV and movies, but it's just a completely different medium. It's a different thing. That's why I don't love like musical theater on screen. It's just not. It's not the same.
Wait, like I find that some of the best concert movies are the ones that were actually made to be filmed. Like Stop Making Sense, like the Talking Heads. That's my favorite probably, and that one was really, really choreographed and set up a certain way, so it really translated well on screen. But so like, if you watch just like a pure band on concert, it's a different experience than actually seeing them live. Seeing the White Stripes live, is very, very different than seeing the White Stripes in a movie.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So this is interesting to hear, because I believe when you came on Chasing Tone, last year, I think, early last year.
Yeah.
You were not yet doing the play, and so it's interesting to hear you were going to do it, and you were talking about, it's going to be like this.
You did know I was, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot I talked about that.
Well, but you hadn't done it yet.
No.
So it was like, I'm going to be doing this. It's going to be crazy. So it's interesting to hear the other side of it now that you have done it.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was a whole month of rehearsals. And like, some of the members of the band are great actors, but they've never really played an instrument before. It was it really felt like a garage band. It was a cool vibe. So like, it was exhilarating. It was absolutely exhilarating.
So that part for you had the opposite thing going on. That part for you was easy.
I was, and I came to rehearsals. I already had everything memorized, my script memorized, because I knew that I had a really heavy role, right? And I knew that I didn't want to hold anyone back because I wasn't going to be as strong an actor as everyone. So I had to make sure everything was memorized, did all my prep, did all my research. So day one, I didn't hold anyone back. So I could really focus on the act. And then when it came to the music, I think my job was, I ended up becoming the music captain after the music director left. My job was to kind of get everyone comfortable and create a nice blanket for everyone to feel safe in and help, find everyone. So it was really good because I had this part of the day where I was very much in my comfort zone and very much in control on the music side. And then you had that dangerous part of the day. And and then that's a month, and then a month in the theater. Really crazy. Really.
Yeah, and this brings up something that's been we've actually talked about it on Chasing Tone quite a bit, but with the rise of AI and everybody being worried about, and rightfully so, I'm not trying to say they shouldn't be, but being worried about the future of art and music and performances and things. And I have this, maybe I'm just being overly positive because I want to be, but I think some things are going to get replaced by AI. That's just a fact. And I think those things are things that people largely don't care about all that much, like elevator music and things. I'm not saying that those people who create that don't deserve respect or jobs. I'm just saying we all can agree we're not really paying that much attention to it. It's just kind of there. And it's nice that it's there. But if it wasn't there, would my life be any different? Not really, versus a performance of a band or an artist or a theater troupe or anything that you want to see. And I think that danger element is always there. Like, I don't want to go see, nobody cares to go see, like we've talked about it, but nobody cares to go see the hologram Kiss. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. There's going to be some people that go to that. And I've talked to a couple people on the show, like, the only reason I'd go is because I missed them live. And this is as close as I'm going to get. And I'm like, that's fine. But are you really going to have that same connection as you would with a real band? No, nobody cares. I don't mean to be a jerk, robots, but nobody cares about your feelings. So we can't connect with it, right? Yeah. It's not the same thing. And that sense of danger where something could go wrong isn't there. Mm-hmm. And I think humans want us, the reason we like songs, the reason we like music, the reason we like performances is because something could go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think because it's human. Mistakes are human. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I can't predict the future. I'm really curious to see what happens because I think new roles will be created from this. It's sad because every time there's a change, you're going to lose something. Like I know in the last 20 years, the role of like a drummer has changed. You know what I mean? Like everyone's just doing drum samples now. So, and the idea of the big studio has kind of gone away. So all these beautiful, gorgeous, legendary studios you're seeing kind of turning more into like museums or like tourist, or they're just gone. They're now, they're now an IHOP or something like that. But through that, new things will be availing, itself. And I don't know what those new things are going to be, but that's one thing that is kind of neat about humans is that we're so imperfect. And I think it's the dream of perfection is what is one of the most beautifully human things. Cause I think the world isn't perfect. And the fact that we're, trying to find, some, I don't know. I think there's something wrong. It's like golfers, trying to have the perfect round. There is no perfect round. You always make a mistake. And, there's no perfect gig. There's gigs where everything feels great. How many times you kind of like had a gig, you're like, oh, this is the best gig I've ever had. And then you listen back to some of the audio, you're like, oh man, ooh, or you look some of the video, but it's the learning and the moving forward. And I think people respond to it. It depends on what you're going there for. Because obviously, if you're going to go to like a BTS concert, like that's a lot a lot of that's in the box, a lot of that's pre-recorded, a lot of the lighting is pre-programmed and everything, and people love those.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a different role.
But it's still people on stage doing something.
Still people on stage, and we like to see people.
Mm-hmm.
I think people like people.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I just saw it. It's kind of mind blowing because we think about the state of the music industry and I don't know if you've seen this, but I follow System of a Down pretty closely because I love that band, and they've been playing these shows in South America, and they are insane. The amount of people showing up for a System of a Down concert, I don't even know. Like, if you just look at anybody go to any of the band members' Instagrams or go to the official page, they'll have footage of them playing in like Brazil and different places, and there's people running around with flares, and there's just like, I don't know. I literally don't know if it's 100,000 people. It is crazy how many people are there for that show.
Oh, incredible.
And they're all just there because they love what that band does. And I don't think a robot's ever going to be able to do that to the same degree.
No, I don't think so. It's different. It's going to be different. It can
help. You can use them to help create things, I think, but
I think it's a tool. Maybe it's gonna, I think it's, right now it's like kind of still fresh, so we don't really know how crazy and how detailed it's going to be, but I don't know. Will people be interested in having a show that was completely written by a computer and filmed and directed and animated by a computer? Would that be something that will, capture people the same way, the good, the bad, and the ugly does,
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to have that same life and excitement of like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Right.
It's like, you see this, you could just tell like there's just thousands of hundreds of people trying to make this crazy dream happen, and that you could see that in the movie. Can it capture our imagination like that? I don't know, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't listen to
not
it
yet. That's
not
for sure.
Yet. No,
yeah.
But it does help. It does help.
Yeah. So let's see. You obviously did that. Last time I saw you was at NAMM, which is pretty normal, but this time you were doing something quite different. At the other times I've seen you at NAMM, you'd be doing the classic, like, oh, I'm playing at this booth at this time. I'm playing it up with Yamaha. I'm doing this and that, and that's all great.
Yeah.
But this time you were playing a show for all the dealers and like kind of
yeah.
Like, it was a very different, you were a natural fit for it, but a very different thing. How did that happen, and what exactly was going on there?
Well, I think that continues on to like all the the craziness of my 40th year. I got asked about a year ago to be kind of one of the faces of the launch of the new Yamaha Pacifica. So Yamaha redid the Pacifica, and they approached me. Hey, we need you to. We were wondering if you can, make a song that's kind of like the unofficial, kind of theme song for Pacifica, and then kind of do the video for it. So I went to California and I did all of that stuff, and that was the NAMM. That was actually what started off my 40th birthday year. That big performance, which was wonderful. I got to go play at Yamaha stage, and what that also entailed is because I was. I had such early access to it, and I knew the guitar very well, and I did a lot of the promo for it. They asked me to be the person. There's a media day right in the beginning of NAMM where a lot of select people do show off what the new thing is, right? And it's for the media. It's so that people could write their little articles about what's new in the music industry, and they kind of get more the more well-known brands to kind of show off their stuff. And obviously, since Yamaha is such a big part of the NAMM experience, Yamaha had a spot, and they were doing Pacifica. So they asked me, hey, can you come up? And they actually there's a video of it on YouTube. Can you come up and do a quick demonstration on the Pacifica? And so that's what I did. I went up there, and it was very unrehearsed. It was very, but we had like 2.5 minutes to pitch this guitar, or not really pitch it, but like talk about what it is and what can it do, and da 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 da. And luckily, I knew the guitar very intimately because I spent so much time with it, and it went very, very well. And while we were doing that, a lot of the people at that were kind of part of the organization, part of NAMM, they saw the demonstration. So they were looking for a host for the dealer awards this year, and obviously I came to mind like, he was very comfortable on stage, and kind of a nice personality that might kind of fit what they were looking for. And I have a band, and the band, we do a lot of award shows. Actually, we were just doing one in just last week. We were doing an award show just for like it was like a corporate award show, like a Dundee's.
Okay.
Only it was like a Dundee. It was like a $1 million Dundee Awards. That's what it was. Like a very expensive Dundee Awards for this wonderful, wonderful restaurant group. But it was like their internal awards. So we do stuff like that. We do that. We do kind of like performances, like when the Canucks are the Vancouver hockey team for the NHL. When they're doing the playoffs, we would play during the commercials, the intermissions. We'd play in the arena. So we do a lot of that kind of corporate-y stuff. So I have that background in doing a lot of award shows from a playing perspective. So and I've watched a lot of them. And it was a easy fit for them. So I brought the band up. The band was the house band for the award show, which that wasn't even planned. There wasn't going to be it was just going to be just people clapping. I was going, no, we can't do that. This is an award show. We got to have a band. We got to do the whole thing. And my secret dream when I was a little puppy was I always wanted to be Conan O'Brien.
Okay,
he was like my hero. So
Yes.
So if anything, I just wanted to do the band thing so I could walk up while the band's playing and do like the little guns and have the band come down when that was it for me. So it was so much fun to do it. And what was really cool about it is seeing some of the guitar stores that are around the world. Like some of them are like really freaking cool, man. Like there's this like one that I think it was like a old church, and they like tore everything down, and like so when you walk in, like there's like it feels like you're going in this like almost like a bar. Like there's sofas. You're in a living room, and there's these guitars hung up. It was so gorgeous. And there was one that was like a giant mall of just guitar brands. There was like a big Gibson showcase and a Fender show. It was just really cool stuff. Really, really. So it was fun. It was definitely a blast.
It was weird because some of them that were being showcased, I was like, wait a minute. Like there was a couple in Vancouver, Washington, that I'm going like, how did I not know this store was here? Like that's like, I mean, depending on traffic, of course, but if there's no traffic, that's like a 25-minute drive for me. Like I've never been to this store. Looks incredible. So I'm literally, this is kind of my reminder. That's been on my agenda since NAMM. It's like, I got to go visit some of these.
Let's go together. I'll meet you there. Where it's like halfway between us.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go there at some point, but it was like these are like they're basically Vancouver, Washington is Vancouver. People don't like me to say this, but it's functionally basically a suburb of Portland. Like it's not very far away. It's just north of where I am. It's basically where I am. I'm just south of Portland. Vancouver's the same distance, just on the other side. It's kind of that thing. There's a river between, but that's okay. But we went. The Stringjoy crew all went. Not all of us. Some of them went and did other things. But the reason we came, I was like, hey, I heard Jay's doing this thing. We got nothing else going on.
I didn't even know how you guys knew about it.
Yeah.
I saw your mugs. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
So I'll tell you how I knew about it.
Hey, Rocky.
What's up, Vincent?
Did you hear about the latest?
Latest what?
The latest drop from Maris. It's totally insane.
No, tell me more.
Maris just released Enzo X.
What's that?
Enzo X is a supernova expansion from the original Enzo into the highest quality and most flexible studio synthesizer ever created in a pedal format.
Whoa!
Enzo X combines 5 synth types, 5 drives, 3 reverbs, and 5 modulations. It also includes a full 2.5 second stereo delay, all in one pedal.
That sounds hard to use.
It's not. The UI is from the same family as the Mercury X and the LVX. It's super easy to dive in and see exactly what you are tweaking in real time.
Oh, I see. It's right there on the screen.
Yep.
Is it this for guitars, though?
Nope. You can plug almost anything into the Enzo X, including your MIDI controller.
That sounds incredible. Where do I get it?
You can pick up Enzo X online at maris.us or at any of their fine retailers across the globe.
Did you just say across the globe?
They know what I meant.
Wait, are we getting paid for this?
I'm still waiting on that cash money from last time.
He better at least give us pizza for dinner.
I'm not giving him his Enzo X back until he does.
For more information, make sure you check out maris.us, and apparently I have to go order a pizza. How exactly do artists get their music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, all these services? How in the world do you get your music there? Well, in the past, you had to use something called a record label. But these days, you can use DistroKid. DistroKid is the absolute easiest way to get your music up on streaming services, and it's the most affordable way to do so. Not only do plans start at $22.99 for the entire year, that's less than $2 a month, DistroKid also does not take a cut of your streaming revenue, unlike some other services out there. Even better if you sign up by going to tonemob.com/distrokid. That's tonemob.com/distrokid. One more time, that's tonemob.com/distrokid. You'll get 30% off. That's right, 30% off their already extremely reasonable prices. So go to tonemob.com/distrokid and get your music out there. We are brought to you today by Sweetwater, specifically the Gear Exchange. You may have heard about this. This is a place where you can go to buy and sell your used gear. Maybe you got a pedal over there that's just kind of collecting dust. Maybe there's something you've been eyeing from the Sweetwater catalog. Well, right now is a great time to turn that unused gear into something you're actually going to use. Even better, if you sell on the Gear Exchange, you can keep 100% of the sale as long as you choose a Sweetwater gift card as your payout method. That is not too shabby because, let's be honest, most of this buying and selling we do is just to fund new gear purchases, and that is a great way to reach a wide variety of customers and keep 100% in your pocket, or rather on your pedal board. So go check out the Sweetwater Gear Exchange and turn that unused gear into something that's actually going to help you write that next huge riff. Because on Chasing Tone, we had John Malinzak, the president of NAMM, before NAMM. And so he was talking about the things that were going on, and he's like, and Leonard J is presenting at the Dealer Awards. I was like, what? Consider me there. Like, I'm going to go see that for sure. Because, I mean, it was just like, well, there's not. We could go back to the hotel, bar, restaurant thing, and we did eventually, but or we could go watch Jay for a little bit. Well, so that's what we did.
Well, it was definitely.
And we weren't sure if they're going to let us in because we're not like a dealer.
Oh yeah, what are they going to do? Kick you out?
I don't know. There was guys at the door like giving you tickets and stuff, and so I was like, I don't know. We're not obviously
get these
not
string
a dealer.
guys out of the way.
But they were like, no, come on in. Here's your drink tickets. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
let's have a good time.
That's NAMM though. That's just good NAMM vibes all around. Everyone's so. It's just a beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lovely, lovely experience. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I've grown to love it more. I have it's a little love-hate, and it's not a hate because of anybody or anything. It's just I know I'm going to be exhausted.
Yeah. You definitely string yourself. Well, see that what we were doing now is we have NAMM, and then we actually do like a little vacation after. Because it's like, you know, I always bring a little gang up to NAMM. We do the thing. We just get exhausted because it's exhausting. Just walking is exhausting.
Oh yeah,
existing at NAMM is exhausting.
Oh yeah, I get like 20,000 steps a day, and I'm not even trying to.
I know, right? And you still don't see you only see like half the people you were planning to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just brutal. So yeah, we did that, and so yeah, actually, the part of the year after NAMM, I was supposed to go back home and take the kids to Great Wolf Lodge.
Yes, of course.
Right? But it ended up, it wasn't great. Did I tell you this story? It wasn't Great Wolf Lodge. My friends actually planned in secret a surprise 40th birthday party.
Oh, really?
So they flew me to Arizona. I'm a big golfer. I like to play golf. They took me to Arizona, and they got this entire complex, huge complex, like, you know, with a pool and a little mini golf course. It was all just us, right? And they had a video arcade just for us. It was crazy. And we walked in, and then I walked in, and it was not just me and the boys. It was everyone, all the kids, all the families, all the wives, and all. So it was like this huge. We took over this whole complex, played golf every day. It was an absolute joy. And see, now that's what we have to do every NAMM, because we came back, that the NAMM. Get all the NAMM thrax out of your body.
Yes.
Get all this thing. Just get a nice cold plunge. It was it was one of the best things ever. It's one of the best things ever.
Well, I got a hot tip. I don't know if it's a hot tip necessarily, but this has happened too many times for it to be coincidence. And this year was the most apparent. So prior to NAMM, I'd been taking about, I don't know, let's see. I think around 9,000 IUs of vitamin D a day for like a couple months.
All right.
Which is way more than you need, like way more. But I was like, let's go, like let's hook it up. Everybody in the Stringjoy crew who I was sitting around and we had a private meeting booth thing, which was the move. We'll probably do that every year that we do NAMM. Yeah, I'm in there close with all these people, and then we're yelling in each other's face, the whole time because it's loud, and everybody got sick. Everybody,
you.
And I didn't get sick.
So that's the secret.
I'm just like, well, whether it works or not, it certainly didn't hurt. Somehow I was the only one to not get sick. And I'm not known for having I'm not one of those guys like, oh, he never gets sick. I get sick a normal amount, but that time I got to give credit to the vitamin D. Cause I was hand sanitizing like everybody does. Like I was being more careful than I do in my day-to-day life. I think it's the vitamin D that saved me. And you got to load it first. Cause if you just start doing it right at NAMM, it's too late.
You got to temper the body.
Yes.
The body has to be prepared for this surge of vitamin.
Yes. So I took it for 3 months.
Oh man.
And made sure. And I was doing it for other reasons, but I was getting my levels checked to make sure my vitamin D was on point. It was so good.
So that's your secret to surviving NAMM.
Yeah.
Your secret to surviving.
Because vitamin D is cheap. You can get it at Walgreens for I don't know, $14. It's worth it.
I never get sick of NAMM. Do you know what happens to me? I lose my voice.
Oh yeah,
because I'm just talking to people.
You lose your voice
all day and loud, talking loud. Right. Luckily, there's a little spot where the singing spot where you don't harsh your voice. So you try to speak from there, but obviously in the excitement and in the alcohol, you start pushing your voice into the nastier place, and then it starts getting hoarse. That's always what happens to me after NAMM. Yeah.
Cassandra from Brown Box, she's just the best. She gave me a NAMM survival kit, and in it was a bunch of lozenges, throat coat lozenges.
God bless them.
Thank you, Cassandra. You're the best.
What a rock star.
Yeah. And then I was like, why didn't I think of that? I should have just brought some. Ariel Posen was shot. He came by and he was just like, I was like, I got you, brother. Lozenges. Take the lozenges.
Go. Yeah, well, it's something because it's also especially where Ariel Posen and all these we know everybody.
Yeah,
we know everybody now because we've been going for so long, and it's like a family. It's a small, beautiful, supportive industry. No one's especially from where our place, it's there's competitions, but it's friendly competition in general. Generally, right? There's always that, but the more you do it, the more people and you just you gotta gab a little bit. And that's where you go.
Speaking of the friendly competition, I've noticed there's a sneaky old school NAMM move that I've been seeing with competition that's maybe, I shouldn't say less than friendly, but it's no, these are in the string world. It's these are direct competitors. We don't want them to know too much about what we're doing, right?
Okay.
And I've noticed this happened a couple times. I'm not going to name any names.
Ooh, I like this tea.
But this is it's happened a few times. I think it's an old technique that the old guard used to use.
Okay.
So they'll go to they see Scott talking to somebody, right? And they know that person does a specific thing. And so what they do is they find that person later and they say, hey, I saw you were talking to my friend Scott earlier. I didn't know you guys worked together. And then they'll be like, oh, you're friends with Scott. And they'll just spill your beans for you.
Oh.
Uh-huh. They're like, oh, yeah, I love it. They buy approximately this amount of this every year, blah, blah, blah. And they're since you guys are old buddies, and we're like, I don't actually know that person at all. We've never spoken before.
So good. The person's wearing a Diodario shirt.
Well, literally, I'm not going to name, like I said, I'm not going to name the name, but it was somebody who is known. Let's just put it that way. And it was
sneaky.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my friend Scott. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know you. We've never spoken in our entire lives.
I love business. That's fantastic. That's good.
It happened twice. And so we
really twice to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We were like, I see. This is a thing. This is a thing that people do because it is a chummy industry. Right. So if you come up and tell me, oh yeah, my buddy so-and-so, I'm like, oh, I didn't know you knew so-and-so. He's like, I would be inclined to tell you everything, which I tell you everything anyway, but you know.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh. See, yeah. I don't, or maybe there is a lot of that and I'm just completely oblivious to it. Maybe
it's not like, I mean, it's not even the worst thing in the world. It's not like it's a big deal. It's not like, oh, that crushed our entire business. It's just like, I would have been nice if he didn't know that, but oh well, you know. Oh my gosh. And it's nothing nefarious. It's nothing like, whoa, he now has the secret formula. It's not anything like that.
They know what the magic of the string joist. It's pixie tears.
That's right. They've been milking the pixie tears.
They've been milking Transformers. Optimus.
We keep a Transformer chained up in the back.
Yeah. They just milk them for the strings. Oh man.
Yeah. But good stuff all around. No, I've grown to appreciate it more as I've done it more, and I'm still very much doing media things, as you know, but I don't really when I'm there. I kind of switch gears into full string joy mode because for me, I used to go around and like try to talk to people about the podcast and all that stuff. And at this point, I feel like I've done everything that I can really do at NAMM for the show. I think if they know me already. And if they don't care. And they're not here for that. And that's fine. Yeah. But I feel like the best use of my time is focusing on taking those meetings and trying to help the brand out. It's just better for me.
I used to bring like a camera to like my first NAMM, maybe my first two, just bring a camera, make videos. And there's a point where I was just kind of going like, this is a lot of work and no one really cares about my video. No one really cares about the video anyway.
Nobody likes those kind of NAMM videos.
Yeah, because they're noisy and the tone's not even that great. And like it's like a first reaction, so it's just, and there's so many of them, right? Mm-hmm. So I've definitely pivoted my approach to NAMM, and that is more reaffirming relationships, networking. And then also like luck, I've been very, very fortunate because usually when I go to NAMM, I always try to have something to do, like a job to do. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's the dealer awards, or if I'm doing something for Yamaha, if I'm doing something for Roland, or I'm doing something. So there's always a reason why I'm there. And then a lot of it is just, the networking and making friends and just the other stuff. Other stuff that's not just content creation.
Yeah,
right.
100%. I think that's a better use of time for guys like us, really. Yeah. And I've told that to a few people. Like, what should I focus on at NAMM? Like, just go be cool. Like, cool. That's
Make
it.
Friends.
Make friends. Hang out. Yeah. Have a good time. And
everyone's friendly.
You will get more out of it long term that way by a long shot.
It's the same thing when people ask me like how to be successful as a working musician. People always ask, how do you get in the music scene in town? How do I do that? How do I break through? I'm a guitar player. I'm new to the city. How do I break through? And my piece of advice is, well, there's a couple things you can do. One is it's not so much about like forcing your music down everyone's throat, but like go to gigs, go to other people's gigs, find out where the gigs are, where the local musicians like to jam. There's always a place where all the studio guys, the guys on tour, all the local guys, they go to blow off steam. They go to play the music that, especially like the people, the 9-to-5 musicians that play music that they don't particularly like all the time. They're doing, maybe, stuff like that. They want to do the music that they're passionate about. And there's always, every town has that venue.
Yeah.
Hang out at that venue all the time. Just be part of the wallpaper. And eventually you're going to start to know the staff there. And then you're going to know the musicians there. People are going to ask, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a guitar player. And then before you know it, they're going to go, oh man, hey, I need a guitar player. You play guitar, right? Yeah, I play guitar. Yeah, come by. And you're already known in the community. You're already known in the scene, and you've organically worked your way in, as opposed to trying to get your guitar and try to out jazz everybody in town.
Right.
No one wants to be out jazzed. What we want to do is it's a family. Just like any community of anything, right? And there's a there's a language that we speak, and there are the rules, and there's etiquettes, and there's things, and you don't learn that unless you're there. And that's the same thing about NAMM. You got to go in anything in life. Just go there and just immerse yourself in the culture, and then make people, and then organically, you'll just be amazed how things start naturally working and start working around you, right? And a lot of it is too, is like, okay, then when you get the call, when they ask, hey, do you want to play, or do you want to host something, or do you want to do this, then you got to be ready. Right? So so people say, oh, you get where you want to because of luck. Yes. But the thing is, everyone gets that little piece of luck. The question is, are you ready? Are you prepared for when that opportunity comes? Are you prepared for the luck? And that's where people kind of lose stuff a little.
Well, and the more often you put yourself in a situation around the type of environment or people you're trying to work with, the more often that luck occurs. Because if you're always at home and you're never where these things are occurring, then that luck just doesn't drop into your inbox all that often.
Yes.
It's not really a thing that happens.
Yeah. Unless, see, there's two ways to do it, right? Like the other way, right, to be a musician is you get the gig, and then you hire the band, and that's another way to do it. And that's the other thing. Like, you can be that guy that stays home and does nothing, but then you have to create a community. It depends. It's so different for everybody. Some people just want to be by themselves and da-da. But if you want to integrate yourself in a community, like, you either have to create an opportunity for others, or you want to make yourself available when the opportunity comes.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's. I was saying, like, people aren't going to be in your inbox, but they will eventually. If you keep at it long enough, they will. Like, this shows a little bit of an example. I used to have to beg people to come on the show. And now I literally, and this is not to brag, but it's just, I've been doing it for a decade now. And now my inbox is so full of requests from bands, I can't accommodate everybody. And it feels kind of bad because I want to, because so many people gave me their time over these years, yourself included, that I'm like, I want to, like, I really like some of this music too. I'd really love to highlight it, but I'm like, I can't physically do that. I'm not going to do 5 shows a week. I mean, I'm already doing 3 podcasts a week between everything. So
You're just one of the hardest working dudes.
And I'm like, I can't do more. I'm just like running at the physical limit of what I have time to be able to pull off. But that's because I just was so stubborn. I was like, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna do it, and I kept doing it for 10 plus years at this point. And that's the thing. And this is one thing I've noticed, and I think there's something to that decade mark. I don't know if this is just me like plucking things out of the air where I want to see them, but if you notice, a lot of the best new artists, this person won best new artist. Without fail, most of them have been doing it for like 10 years. Like, oh yeah, so new. They've only been at it for a decade. Would you consider like a mechanic that only been doing it for a decade a new mechanic? No, he better be really good at that point, right? Or that she better be really good at that point. If you're doing anything for a decade, you're probably pretty decent at it at best. Like, or at a minimum, you're probably decent. You might be an expert.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. Or you're just annoying enough like me that, eventually people pay attention. But I think there's something to the 10-year of doing anything. String Joys cracked 10 years last year. And it felt like once that happened, so like we've been trying to do a lot of the things that we're doing right now for this whole time. And now there are opportunities presenting themselves that if you can just keep around for that long, good stuff finally does occur. But a lot of people don't have the patience for it, or and I'm not even trying to criticize. Some people's situations don't allow them to stick it out that long. And I think that's part of anything you want to do. If you can gut it out for a decade, you'll probably be able to do it.
Absolutely. That's 100%. It's the time is, yeah, exactly. Like some people are very, very lucky to get there very, very quick, but it's the struggle and what it takes to survive 10 years gives you all the tools you need to move forward from there, because there's so much you learned. There's so much stuff you did in year 2 that you're like, oh man, why did we do that? And like, because you have to learn the hard way. It's like when your parents say, oh, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. You don't care. It's like, but when you make the mistake yourself and you learn yourself, then ooh, now you know. And that's life experience. That's why we got to listen to our Lolas and our grandpas and our grandmas.
That's right.
Because they've seen, there's something about experience. There's something about tenure. How does LeBron James and Steph Curry still play basketball the level they do? Because they have so much a wealth of knowledge and experience that they've accumulated through years and years and years that's kept them going, right?
Yep. Hello there. I'd like to introduce you to your new best friend, the Chase Bliss Audio Lossy. Lossy is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Goodhertz. And it's meant to give you some control over those weird digital artifacts that come with very compressed audio. You're hearing it right now. All the changes that are taking place are strictly coming from my playing dynamics. I'm just interacting with the pedal and letting it do its thing. In some true stereo goodness. If you'd like some more details about Lossy, I'd invite you to head over to chaseblissaudio.com. I think you're going to like what you find.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Well, segueing a little bit, because I want to talk about this. You've got, a record that's coming out very soon. Actually, when this drops, it'll probably already be out or close to it. So let's talk about this, because it somehow, and amongst everything else that we just talked about, you managed to record a record as well.
Yes.
So
it's been something I've wanted to do for a ridiculous long time, because everyone's like, why don't you have to make an album? I've made so many albums, and I've been in bands that have done albums, and I helped other people's albums and dreams come true and everything like that. But every time I start to work on something for myself, you do a couple songs, you get bored with it, and then you sell it. That's kind of what I've always done. And so what happened was my friend, the guy that I brought in from Cambodian Rock Band, his name is Jun Kung. He's a very, very well-known pop singer in Hong Kong. I knew him back in my days when I was doing the whole pop circuit in Asia.
Yeah.
So about 2 years ago, I get a call from him to go to Hong Kong to do a show for Longines, the watch company.
Oh yeah.
They were hosting or they're one of the sponsors for the equestrian races, like the horse races, right?
Okay.
At the raceway. And they wanted us to do the opening ceremony. So it was me. They flew me into Hong Kong for a week, for 15 minutes of music. So I was there for so I went on the plane. We went there, and it was me and June. We haven't seen. I wrote a bunch of songs for him back in the day on an album of his that did pretty good. And then it was him on drums, me, and then we had taiko drummers and dancers and stuff. It was it was one of those kind of opening ceremonies kind of performances. And so we only had one rehearsal. We're there for a week, and June was like, "Hey, we're here in Hong Kong. Why don't we just write? Let's go to this thing and just jam. Let's just jam." So we went into we booked a place and we just jammed. And then at the end of that 4-hour session, I think we had the skeleton for 3 songs. Right. And
wow.
we weren't trying to write anything. It just kind of naturally, I think because I think June, he's always kind of going stuff in his head. And he's like, oh, maybe I should write an album for myself, and we could get some, or we could sell these songs and da 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 da. So, but we started going on a heater, writing songs, and I think very quickly we got talking, and he kind of said, Jay, like, you're a pretty good writer. Like, why have you never? You need to write an album. You need to do this. I'm like, I don't know. It's not my, like, you're going to do this. And I'm not only going to do this, but I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to I'm going to be Scottie Pippen. You're going to be Jordan. I'm going to be Pippen.
Yeah.
And so what he did is we did the show. And then in February, he flew on his own dime to Vancouver, and he stayed in Vancouver for 3 weeks. And in 2 weeks, we wrote the entire album. It was just him and me. I did all the lyrics, and then we collaborated on the music. And in those 2 weeks, everything that can go possibly wrong went wrong. So in 2 weeks, we had 2 weeks. We took weekends off because we needed a brain refresh. So that was really more like 5 days of writing, or 7 or 8 days of writing, really. Of the writing session. In that time, he got sick. The bass player we were going to bring in for the show, he's one of my best friends. He dislocated the lower third of his spine. He had to get sent to the hospital. Yeah. My mom's best friend died. My co-writer June's, his uncle died. What do you call it? We had one of the background singers we were going to bring in. She's a very, very close friend of mine. She got stuck in Hong Kong, and her husband got the flesh-eating disease. They had to amputate his leg.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then I opened the door of my house door in my daughter's face and completely smashed. It's like a 6-year-old girl. I smashed her face, bleeding everywhere. I had to take her to the hospital. We lost a day in the hospital. June got sick. It was just so. And then one of my best friends, he was one of the groomsmen at my wedding. He has his girlfriend, and his girlfriend, out of the blue, died. So this was all in the 2 weeks that we had to write this album. So obviously we have all this, sadness around us, and we're visiting friends, and I'm there for my buddies, right? But I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, we have to go to the studio, and that's why if you listen to the album, there's an underlying vibe lyrically of indomitable spirit, that drive to move forward, the resilience of people. Because I was just so touched by, in the light of great struggle comes great resilience, and I was inspired by that, and that's where it came to. So that was the writing session, which was crazy. And then we recorded the whole album in a week, and the way the album was done is there's a place called Mushroom Studios in Vancouver, and it was the first purpose-built recording studio in Vancouver. A lot of legendary 80s musicians have recorded there. It's now called Afterlife. And it was a studio I've always wanted to record it in, because it was my childhood dream to record in the studio. So we recorded a studio there. The producer is Ben Kaplan, and he's he's played Shakira and Snoop Dogg, and he's done so many great projects. He was really, really known in the 90s for that kind of like rock, the rock scene. So he knows how to mic drums and all that kind of stuff. And so we locked ourselves in this beautiful recording studio. It's like old, crappy wall stuff, but it just has that sound, and it has that history and the ghosts. And I remember the first day of recording, nothing worked, and it was just one of those things. But yeah, we found a way to make it happen, and the album was we managed to finish the album, and we recorded the whole thing, wrote and recorded the whole thing in about 3.5 weeks or so.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think the album is it turned out pretty cool. I think the idea was I wanted to pay a tribute, since it was my first album under my own name. I wanted it to be kind of a tribute to all the music that inspires me, and all the music that I grew up listening to, and the stuff that kind of shaped. People always ask me, what music do you listen to? What kind of stuff do you, because you play such a weird variety of music. What do you like? And I wanted to make an album that reflected all of those influences in me. Yeah, so that's the album. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. Well, it turned out really good. I got to spend some time with it, and I was just like, I think I texted you this. I was just like, I can't even get my brain to think about some of these things, just because I'm so in this weird bubble that I exist in. And So I just like appreciated it so much, but it was exactly what I would expect you to make.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, this just sounds like a J record. This is like, you know, I've heard all these riffs, I've heard these covers, I've heard these other things that you've done, and this is like, oh yeah, this is Jay's original music. This makes all the sense in the world to me.
It is an eccentric album, and it's full of a lot of life, and you know, it runs the gauntlet. Like there's pop songs in it, and there's psychedelic rock, and there's country, and there's funk, and there's 80s, you know, talk box, and it's a really, really it was a really fun album to make. It was really cool and free, and because we had 2 weeks to write it and a week, we couldn't second guess. We had to go with our instincts. We had to go with what, you know, which was great. You never have time to overthink things. You just go with what your heart is. And I think the idea too is, you know, I was trying to decide, should we make this a song album, like, you know, singing and this, or should it be a guitar album? And, you know, it just turned into like, we wanted it to be an album that, you know, there's cool tones in it, there's cool sounds. I'm definitely all over the place with the pedal board in it, but I also wanted it to be so if you played it with your girlfriend that doesn't like guitar, or your boyfriend that's not into guitar, they're gonna really find some value in it too. So I think it's a really, really wonderful piece. I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of it.
Yeah. So what's it called? Where can people find it?
The album is called Aw Man. And the reason why we call it Aw Man, and the reason why is because it was actually named after my kids. We would call them in the studio and go like, oh, hey kids, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it back in time because we're going to be finishing a couple overdubs. And my kids would always go, "Aw man." And so we just called the album. In fact, the album cover was actually done by my kids as well. I got a bunch of easels and some paints, and we went in the backyard, and I had all the kids make little like splatter paint. And that's actually became, because it was a family album. The album was like, it was a really interesting culture we built up in the studio. So my mom came every day and she made lunch for everyone in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah. And like my mom's like, she's one of those like on the internet all the time looking up recipes. And I went to her place and she curated a whole list of like things like, oh, today it's gonna be, and she was like, oh, you know, okay, well, they're gonna be working, so they have to eat with their hands, and she was thinking like to the most minute. She was cater, and then the kids would come visit. We'd have friends always around. It was a really vivacious, and it was a family thing. The support of my wife and kids. So the album cover is done by the family, and the you know, everything is in this wonderful small bubble. But yeah, it's called Aw Man. It's coming out, or if it's out already, it's coming out June 20th, I believe.
Cool.
And there's gonna be a little music video that comes with it, and a couple little surprises and stuff like that. So yeah, I really, really hope you listen to it and enjoy it, because it's something I'm very proud of.
Yeah, no, people, seriously, go check this out. I mean, most of the listeners know where my wheelhouse is, and this is very, very different, but I really enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you are one of my favorite guitarists.
Oh,
I'm serious.
Now. Come on.
I'm serious.
On now, buddy.
You are.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I love watching you play. I love listening to you play. And to finally have this is, it's nice. I can point people to something other than like, well, there's this moment in this YouTube video that's really cool. You know, like,
yeah.
Like, no, go check out this album. It's really good. And I'm assuming it's on all the platforms, right?
All the platforms, all the candy. Yeah, all the candy. So yeah, you can look it up on Spotify. That'd be great, because I think it's like me and my cousins. Those are like the people that are like following me on Spotify. So please get the number up. You know, it's amazing how much those numbers matter, because, you know, if the number goes up, it makes it easier for me to get grants, makes it easier for me to go on the road, makes it easy for me to sell things, so I can come to you and play music. That's all we want to do. We just want to play music, and all it takes is just a little clicky click. So it'd be really good if you guys support the album.
You know what? And the same thing applies to a podcast. So there's a lot of people
there you go.
who listen to this thing and they don't subscribe and they don't leave a review. In fact, that's like 80% of people that listen to this thing. So
it's crazy. Yeah.
Please, if you're hearing our voices right now, just take this moment. You're already in the platform. You're already there. You're there. Just hit that subscribe button on this thing. And you know what? Spotify is where 20% of the people listen to this podcast at. You're already in there. Go to Jay's. hit the follow. It's so easy.
It's so easy. An angel smiles every time you press the like button and the subscribe button.
Yeah, an angel named Jay.
An angel named Jay. It's just...
But yeah, it is really a great piece of work, and the production is really cool. Like,
Thank you.
I really enjoyed. It was a treat to put on the cans and like sit there and I was walking, but walk around and like have the full experience. Because I was listening to it just on my phone last night, which is the worst way to listen to music. And then I was like, nope, I gotta give this the proper go today. So
I'm so glad you listened.
And the sun was shining, so it was like the perfect. Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to do this podcast later. This is gonna be so great, and it was. So
thank you. Yeah, it was really cool. Really, really cool. Really, really cool album.
And I realize this is the worst point to do this. So I'm probably going to say it in the episode intro. For those of you who are not aware, Jay's been on 3 or 4 times in the past, something like that. And we go way, way back. So if you want like the full Jay story, you're going to have to go back to like episode, I don't know, 100 or something. This is like 460 or something. I don't even know. Yeah,
it's crazy. We've been on this road together for a long time, haven't we? We're like 2 grizzled veterans just sitting around.
Oh man, Ryan Burke and I talked about that last time he was on. I was like, can you believe that we've been doing this long?
It's
this
crazy how quick the time goes by.
Yeah,
you know, and you're still just as handsome as the day I met you.
Oh my goodness!
Holy crow! Incredible! What elixir? It's all that vitamin D. I'm telling you, buddy.
Vitamin D, heavy weights, and pizza. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
I don't gym. I'm not good at the gym. I don't know I wouldn't even know what to do with a weight. You know what I do? I ride those, those guys with the Lycra.
Yes, we talked about
bike.
that.
Oh, we did. Yeah. So that's what I do. I'm the guy that looks like a stuffed sausage, just going down the road in his little carbon fiber, nerd bike. I did the Grand Fondo actually last year.
Oh wow.
Where you go, it starts off, I guess people that are in Vancouver don't know, but it's a very, very rigorous. It goes from Stanley Park all the way to the top of Whistler Mountain or to Whistler Village. Sorry. So I go up a mountain and it took all day. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
I mean, that's a lot of cardio. I don't know if I could handle that.
It was crazy. It was so much fun. I'll be honest with you. I felt like I was in the Tour de France.
Oh yeah, we kind of were.
I was the most friendly Tour de France. Not a lot of people. Not a lot of elbows. Kind of coming at my face.
Not a lot of elbows. Not a lot of like. What's that?
Minimal doping. Minimal.
A little though.
A little bit. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Some people want to get some good times.
That's right. I mean, just gotta get. It's just elevating the blood oxygen levels a little bit. It's all right. It's fine.
You put a dumbbell in front of me. I have no clue what to do with that.
Well, if you come to
blow
Portland,
into it and makes a sound.
I'll show you.
Oh man, are we gonna get jacked together? That's gonna be great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Be good.
Yeah,
gotta work. I'm like my upper body is just not for anybody. It's I need to get lines. I need to get like nice lines and a nice shape, so I look all shiny for all those like silly
I can't
press
help you
photos
there.
I have to make.
I'm just slowly turning into more and more of a cube.
Oh yeah.
It's like my coach. He's like, "Well, you can't get any taller, so you might as well get wider."
There you go, buddy.
I'm like, "All right, let's go. Let's do it."
Brick house, man. Brick house.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jay, thank you so much for coming on. This was great. We'll slide over to Patreon and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into.
Oh my goodness, let's do it.
All right, everybody. For Jay, this is Blake, and as always, folks, good luck.
Take care, everybody. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Do it again.
Good luck and good tones. Alrighty, folks, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And if you did, there is more on Patreon. Jay and I really got into it over there. We had a lot of discussions. I even expressed some of my long-term hopes and dreams that maybe will come to fruition if I start putting it out there into the universe. These things occasionally tend to actually happen. So I'm putting out a big dream over there, and I'd love to hear what you think about it. Also, do not forget to check out Jay's new record. It is so good. It is coming up here in just a couple days. So yeah, just a few days is when that'll be available. Go pre-save it. Do all that good stuff wherever you stream your music. So good, so good, so good. Go check it out. It is what the world needs right now. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for all your support. I love you, and I hope you have a great time wherever you are. Thank you all so much for all the support, and I'll talk to you on the internet very, very soon.